That's what I'm hoping anyway. I'm just praying that they're going to be here in a second. All right. So what I want to do today, we're going to have 4 examples. I believe the Google form question of the day that probably went out just a few seconds ago. If it's not there, it'll be there in a few minutes. It says on example problem number 4 today, what is the solution for the 4th problem today? Well, that'll be one of our new problems today when we get there. So you will need a calculator. So maybe you'll have your cell phone next to you, or you'll have a calculator with you. We're going to get to that one today. We got more people coming in. So that's kind of what we're looking at today. So remember, for those who are online only, or if you're not here in person, you'll be on Zoom every day. And I send out the links at night and in the morning, so you should be getting at least a minimum of 2 emails from me each day, probably a third since we get the Google form question of the day. So that'll be a 3rd email every single day, so don't ignore them. I know it gets tedious, but at least you know exactly what to expect from me. Let's go through a couple notes here. I want to do 2 problems. I'm going to do one with the bus schedule, because that's the homework that's due by 11:59 tonight. And then the second problem we're going to do will be on the Cyride bus. We'll do an afternoon one today. And then the 3rd and 4th question are brand new things I want to introduce for the first time today. So that's brand new stuff. I know it's hard if you're at home, but hopefully the way that I present stuff, it'll make it a little bit easy today. And I think it's kind of an interesting topic. I think you'll actually be kind of interested in the new stuff today. It's something that's a little bit outside the textbook, but I think it's important that you get to see it. But let's talk about it. So for the bus, let's say we're going to start in, this is my first example of the day. Let's say we're going to start in Fordham, and we're going to be dropped off at Opala. So Fordham, and we're going to Opala on this bus. Okay, so what side of my chart should I be using? The left side or the right side?
We should be using the left side, going down.
We should be going down. I agree with that. We should be going down. So that's technically the right. But yes, you're right. Yeah, what you said was correct. We're going down. So we're going to Fordham to Opala. So yes, we're using this right side now. The reason why is that yes, we're going down. So that was the correct terminology we had to use. So on this one, we're using the 7:47 p.m. and we're arriving at 11:15 p.m. So it's pretty straightforward. Let's actually do some little bit of math here. Since they're both in the afternoon, we don't have to change it to military time. If it went from morning to afternoon or evening to early morning, like past midnight, then yes, you'd have to do military time. But I don't have to. So that's kind of the beauty of this. So we're going to take 11:15. This is the later time in the day, 11:15 p.m. And we're going to subtract the 7:47 p.m. So now what we have to do, and this is one I kind of brought up yesterday, we have to borrow. You cannot subtract straight down, because again, the later time always goes on the top, so that's why the 11:15 went on the top, that's later in the day. You have to make sure the top number is bigger. So I can't go 5 minus 7 when you try to subtract in column method, so I have to borrow from the 11 o'clock. I'm going to borrow from that 11 o'clock, making this 10 o'clock, and then I'm going to add 60 minutes to that next column. So if I add 60 minutes over here, this turns out to be 75, because I have to add 60 to this. If that makes any sense, what I just did there. And now I'm going to try to subtract straight down. Well, the problem is I can't subtract yet, because I have a 5 over a 7. So I'm going to borrow from the minutes, making this a 6, and then making this a 15. So that 5 just became a 15 now, because I had to put a 1 in front of it. Because when you borrow from minutes, you can actually carry the 1. So now I'm going to subtract straight down. Hopefully that makes sense to you. 15 minus 7, well, that's 8. 6 minus 4, that's 2. And then 10 minus 7, that's 3. So I was on the bus for 3 hours and 28 minutes. Now, your calculators can do this. believe it or not. We've actually discussed this before in a previous section. There is a button on most scientific calculators that will actually do minutes and seconds. It'll actually subtract it correctly. The button you're actually looking for on most calculator screens is this button that is something like this. It's called the degrees, minutes, second button. And obviously we're doing minutes and hours and stuff. And so this is the button you're looking for. Now it might be in it might be in a menu for angles, or you have to go find it. And so how you type it in is on a calculator, you type in this. You type in, the degree symbol means hours, and then 15 minutes. And then you'd subtract the 7 degrees, 47 minutes. And when you type that in the way that I have it written here, it'll actually tell you 3 hours, 28 minutes. So it's kind of cool when you actually see the calculator attempt this. So in fact, I'm going to just show you this, just so you can see this. So I'm going to show you how this works. I'll show you on my calculator, and I'll show you on a different one. Hopefully everyone can see this. Alright, so we have my calculator in front of me. Yeah, this is kind of a weird calculator, sorry. And I'm going to type in that exact problem we just did. So I'm going to go to my angle menu button. Go to my angle, and I have the minutes there, and so that's the angle key is where it's at on my crazy calculator. I'll show you on a separate calculator. I got another calculator over here. I'll type it in. So 11 minutes, or sorry, 11 hour, 15 minutes, 15, and then go to the angle and type in minutes, and then I'm going to subtract. What was it? 747? Is that what it was?
Oh yeah.
7 hours and 47 minutes. So I typed it incorrectly and I hit enter, and sure enough it tells me that, and I can change this. It's 3.466. I can change that to degrees, minutes, and seconds, because my calculator will go to the DMS, degrees, minutes, and seconds, or hours, minutes, seconds. And I can change that, and so it tells me 3 hours and 28 minutes. Crazy how it works. It actually works out really well, the way that it goes. Now, the other way to do it, maybe if you don't have my $100 calculator, right? Not everyone in the world is going to have a calculator like that. Only a math teacher would. All right, so you probably have one of these. It's fine, it's a little $10 calculator, and right in the middle of the screen, right there, you can probably see it. That's my degrees, minutes, seconds. So it's actually easier on this scientific calculator to type this in. 11 minutes, or sorry, 11 hours. So hit enter on that. 15 minutes, so I'll go over to the minutes key. And then I'll subtract the 7 hour, 47 minutes. And then hit enter. And it tells me that, and again, I can change it to degrees, minutes, and seconds, because this button will also change that over. I'll actually go to the DMS. I just hit over until it says DMS and hit enter, and I'll actually change my answer. And so yeah, it works. Sorry, my iPad is shaky. Wish I had a little stand for it. So, makes sense? So you can do it on these little $10 calculators. It's pretty wild how much actual stuff you can actually do on these things. That's some serious math that these little calculators anymore can actually do. I'm pretty impressed by that. All right, but that was the first example. Sorry, lots of work there for just one little problem. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, so we're gonna go the afternoon on the Cyride bus. So we're on the Cyride, and we're gonna be picking out certain numbers. So let's say I want to start at the beach. Start at Beach Avenue, and I want to make it to Ames Middle School. So I want to go to the middle school. So it's Lincoln Way and Beach. It's a name of the street. It's not the actual beach. So I'm gonna start on Beach and make my way to the Ames Middle School. I wanna leave the beach at let's say I want to leave the beach at 2:08 in the afternoon. 2:08 p.m. What time would I make it? What time would I make it to Ames Middle School if I rode the Cyride? Well, you just have to look at the chart. Well, I'm leaving, beach. Here's the beach, right? I'm leaving at 2:08. I'm going to arrive at the Ames Middle School at 23. So 2:23. p.m. So I wasn't on the bus very long. And what you do is you just subtract these. So I'm going to put the 2:23, that's the later time. I'll put that on the top. 2:08 is on the bottom. Remember, the later time of the day, you always have to put on the top and subtract. I don't need to change to military time. They're both in the afternoon. I'm going to borrow from this because I need to make sure that's a 1, and this is a 13. 13 minus 8 is 5. 1 minus 0 is 1. 2 minus 2 is 0. So this is 0 hours and 15 minutes. So right there, it took me 15 minutes on the bus to get there. The Ames Ride, you can get anywhere in the town, in less than an hour. Anywhere. So you just have to plan accordingly. If you got to make it to a certain place, you just plan accordingly. Find the nearest ride next to you. Know what time you need to get on it or be close to it. I'd always show up early. So if I know I need to get on that bus at 2:08, I'm going to be there at 2:05 or earlier, 2 o'clock. That way, if the bus gets there a little bit too early, I can at least be on it. So, because sometimes they're a little bit early. Sometimes you got to be out there and prepared. All right, questions with SciRide. Okay. Again, these charts where I'm pulling these charts from, this is actually from Ames Department of Transportation. So this is the Ames real SciRide charts that I just pulled off. So I thought that was kind of important. You guys get to see that. All right. New question. This is the brand new stuff today. Okay, and I've been saving this. I was going to save it for today and Monday. So here's what we need to discuss. We have a brand new type of problem. The problem that we need to talk about is if you're not going to take the public transportation, right? You're not going to take the bus, and you're not going to, maybe you don't have a car, or maybe you don't have a driver's license, or maybe you don't have access to that vehicle, right? Maybe it's in the shop or something. What do most people use as form of transportation anymore? Well, if you're in a bigger city, you probably use Uber. So Uber is like a taxi service, right? Uber or Lyft, there's another company, or a taxi service of some type. These are becoming more and more popular. But Uber is probably the number one that I'm familiar with, because in most major cities here in Iowa, Uber is the number one go-to. I want to show you how Uber calculates its cost, because a lot of people don't know this. How do they actually figure out the numbers that are involved here? So there's two types of Ubers. There's an Uber Black and an Uberx. Now, here's the main difference. So there's other types of Ubers. There's an Uber van service, which I think they call it XL. There's an Uber Light, which is just like a single person car, like a little smart car kind of a thing. But these are the two traditional ones in Iowa, Uber X and Uber Black. X is a normal service. It's usually a smaller vehicle, a car. It's not a van usually. It's usually like a little Honda Civic or just some generic car. A Ford of some type sometimes. But they'll haul up to 4 passengers, and all they charge you is the booking fee on the web, on the actual app that you use. And then they charge you per mile and per minute you're in the vehicle. That's it. That's how, and you can leave a tip at the end if you'd like. You don't have to. I'd say if you're going a long distance, you probably want to. If you're being a pain in the butt, you probably want to leave a tip. But how it works, if let's say we're using Uberx. Okay, so we're going to use the Uberx service. So this is the third example, not the fourth, the third one. So if you're going to use an Uberx, here's what they do. So your booking fee. The booking fee traditionally on an Uberx is about $5.75 to book it. So it doesn't mean you're going to pay when you open up the app. You can use the app, you can look around, you can see what vehicles. The minute you click submit that you want this car to come pick you up, they just charge you $5.75. Even if you cancel it, they charged you. Okay. Then you're getting cost. You're going to get cost per mile. So the cost per mile. Most Uber X's charge in lower numbers, like let's say 15 cents per mile. It's usually a low number. It's usually under a quarter per mile. And then they charge you a cost per minute that you're in the vehicle. Cost per minute. And so that's usually a big number. It's usually under $5. So this could be like $1.25 a minute. So why they do that is because they don't want you in the car very long. They've figured out a system where if they can get you in and out of the car faster by just charging you a little more money on the per minute, they'll get you to say, okay, this is my stop. I'm only going to take you for 5 or 6 blocks. So it's 2 or 3 minutes. And then that way the driver can turn around and go pick up somebody else really quickly. They don't want to go, an hour drive between Ames and Des Moines. They want to just do a short trip, a couple blocks down the road, save you a walking distance. Or maybe just take you to your car where it's parked. Or, some quick thing. I need to go to the mall real quick. Just drop me off. It's 5 minutes away. That type of thing. That's what they really want to go. You can put up to 4 people in the vehicle, and that's just how they charge you. So let's say that you're going to travel, 8 miles. 8 miles. So maybe you're in downtown Des Moines. You're going from your house and you're going to the Wells Fargo Arena for a concert, right? When concerts open back up. So 8 miles. And maybe it takes you 12 minutes to get there because traffic's kind of heavy that day. So they're going to charge you accordingly. So what I mean by that is that what they're going to charge you per mile and per minute. So here's the idea, right? They're going to go, okay, you went 8 miles. So you're going to take the 8 miles you went and take it times 15 cents. That's the cost in mileage. And then they're also going to charge you the cost for minutes. So you went 12 minutes in the car. So they're going to charge you the $1.25 for your minutes. And then the last thing that you have to do is add in your booking fee. So the booking fee was $5.75. And this will be your total. This is how Uber charges you and how they spit out that receipt. Like, hey, your bill was $21 or whatever it was. So for me, 8 miles times 15 cents per mile, 0.15, that's $1.20. That's $1.20 for your mileage. And then 12 times $1.25. So the minutes in the car charged you $15 for the minutes you were in the car. And you add these up. 15 plus $1.20 plus your $5.75. Uber just charged you $21.95. You're thinking, wow, that's expensive. I should have just walked a little bit. Or think of it this way. If you're traveling with 4 friends, right? You got 4 people in the car with you. It's like $5 a person. That ain't bad. $5 to get me down to the venue, and I don't have to drive. I don't have to worry about parking costs. I don't have to worry about, getting in an accident or getting a speeding ticket or anything like that. Maybe $5 is worth it to you. Maybe the $21 is worth it to you. So keep that in mind. But again, this is an Uberx. Up to 4 people in the car with you other than the driver. So it's usually like, I think most Ubers are usually about Honda Civics or a Ford, Focus or some small economical car. The driver's saving money, getting a really nice, usually like a Honda or a Toyota Prius usually. That's it, Uberx. All right, questions on that first type of Uber. All right, the all-important question. This is the one that everyone's been waiting for. The final and 4th question, the one you have to enter on the Google form question of the day. And yes, even you have to fill out that since you're here in class, okay? And I'll hand that paper back to you so you can take a picture of it and then submit it on your online too, but I'll take it from you, okay? All right, so the final question. Okay, we're going Uber Black. Now, if you've never heard of Uber Black service, Uber Black is the highest end service that they offer at Uber. It has to be a certain particular vehicle to be even qualified as a driver for this program. Because anyone can be an Uber driver. You just apply on their website and they say, yeah, you can be. What's your car? You enter the VIN. You enter what your insurance card and your driver's license. So they have documentation. And then they do a background check and you're like, yeah, you can be an Uber driver, UberX driver, and you can use your own vehicle. They don't pay for anything. They don't pay for gas. They don't pay for servicing. They don't pay you to clean your car out. They basically just pay you what your tip was and what the booking fee was. That's pretty much the only money that you're making. So you're not making a lot of money. So keep that in mind if you're going to be an Uber driver. You're getting the booking fee and the tip that you're left. So you might be guaranteed $5 a trip, and you just had to pay $20 in gas. So keep that in mind. So that's where it doesn't make a lot of money. But Uber Black is special. Uber Black has to be a Lincoln Navigator, a Ford Expedition, or a Chevy Suburban or Tahoe, but they have to be black in color. Now, I do know of a few people that have Tesla Model X's that do this. They also have to be black to be considered a Uber Black. But these are vehicles that can carry more than just 4 people. It's up to 7 passengers in the car, or 6 passengers with the driver. Now, here's the difference between an Uber Black and an Uber X. Uber Black, they have a booking fee, right? Just like before. The booking fee just to call them. The booking fee is higher in price. So let's say it's $7. It's usually up to about $10. So let's say it's $7.20 at this particular time. The cost per mile is higher. The reason why? It costs more to drive that vehicle. So the cost per mile is maybe $3.20 per mile. So way more expensive than the 15 cents earlier. The cost per minute. The cost per minute is significantly higher. Maybe that's 34 cents instead of 15 cents or whatever it was in the last example I did, or vice versa. I don't know if these numbers are flipped. It might be $3.20 per minute and then 34 cents a mile. I might have these numbers flipped, but you get the idea. They're always higher. The two numbers are always higher. And now here's the thing that most people don't know. If you get an Uber Black, they charge $4 per person in the vehicle. Per person in the vehicle. So if you have 5 friends going with you, okay, I can't write the I. Oh, it's not right. Right there. There we go. So if you have 5 people in that car, you just got charged $20, including the booking fee, including the mileage, including the minutes. Now you're thinking, wow, why would anyone do this? They're really nice vehicles, and you can take a lot of your friends. So let's say you're taking your 5 friends with you. Okay, 5 friends are going with you. Okay, you're not just taking yourself, you're not taking the 4 friends you did earlier, you're taking 5 people. So 5 people, so now right now you're already at $20 automatically for the vehicle because of the $4 per person. So that was the 5 times 4. You have the booking fee, $7.20. You have the cost per mile. So maybe you're doing that same 8-mile trip. So 8-mile trip, so I'm taking 8 miles times the $3.20. Or actually, I think I have those numbers flipped around. Let's flip those around. 34 cents a mile, and the minutes is 3.20. So 34 cents per mile, and then the minutes is $3. So we're going to go the same 15-minute trip at $3.20. And so these numbers would be the last numbers I have to enter. So you're going to have a significantly higher total. Like right now, you're already over the last trip with the Uber X. We're at $27.20 currently, and I haven't even done the mileage yet and the minutes in the vehicle. So miles, 8 miles times 34 cents. That is $2.72, and 15 minutes at $3.20. It's $48 just for the minutes in the car. So now if we add these all up, plus 20, plus 7.20, plus the $2.72, the total for my Uber trip was $77. You're thinking, whoa, $77 just to ride in, a taxi, a glorified taxi. But the Uber vehicle, the Uber driver does get this money paid to them. So they're going to make the mileage costs because that vehicle is a lot bigger. So they're actually getting paid more money to be there. So it is going to cost more because now Uber is paying the driver for that vehicle. They're not just getting the booking fee and how many people are in the car. They're actually getting mileage as well. So they're getting some good numbers. But if you had 5 people in that car, it's going to cost you $15 to ride in the car, just you per person. So 5 people are in the car, 77 divided by 5, it's $15. Maybe $15 is worth it to you if you're in a really high-end car arriving at your destination. They're super nice, super clean. Sometimes the drivers even have waters for you. That might be worth it to you. Maybe the $5 we talked about earlier isn't worth it when you go 15 and you're riding in a really nice vehicle. So that's something you always want to check. If you're using Uber, check on what time of the day you're booking it. But all that. But this is the number I want on the Google form. This is the fourth final question. I want that number, the 7792. Okay, we'll talk about this more on Monday. So I know a lot of you are back Monday. For Tristan, you'll just have to log in on the Zoom call on Monday since you're not going to be here Monday. So be ready to go Monday. We'll do a couple more notes. We'll probably get an assignment on Monday on Uber. So, okay. But thanks for tuning in, guys. You guys can log out when you get that written down and submit your Google question. It's good seeing you guys. Thanks for being here. And there you go.
It was weird.